VKK1. VKK1.
It definitely is, and welcome to Paddy Thailand. Welcome down here, and of course in the studio, the podcast studio, as normal. Always got a guest in, and always hot and always relaxed in the studio. Mr. Alex Van Dam, welcome to the studio, sir.
How are you, sir?
I'm absolutely ecstatic for seeing you.
Yeah, as always.
Good, thank you very much, and thank you for gracing our presence. I do realise, and you do understand that you are now virgins in this new studio.
Pretty much.
We are breaking this studio in today.
Awesome, man.
Bro, Eli, nice to see you in the studio. Nice to see you here.
Nice to see you as well.
You're always chilled out, isn't he? Also looks
very
really
mellow.
relaxed. Get really jealous sometimes how easy you are. Now, you guys are off on a trip, okay?
Correct.
Alex, please tell us about the trip and about where you're going.
Certainly. So, day after tomorrow, we're going to head to Dubai. And then after that, on Tuesday, we're going to go to Bahrain for the air show.
And what is that? I mean, the air show, what is it? Is it a yearly thing, a monthly thing? What is that?
Every 2 years.
Every 2 years?
Because, you know what's interesting? Because Farnborough and Bahrain are the same organizers. So, they do every 2 years. Mm-hmm. And like next year, you got Paris and Dubai.
Right.
Yeah, we're looking to get out there and just build some relationships, get some video footage, and use it back on this end when we get here. So,
what about sort of like when you're out there getting some nice audio clips for me? That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Oh, definitely.
Hey. And at least you can come on camera and go, hello.
yeah.
or we can say, hey, woo.
Listen, of course, we're down in Paddy, as you know, the studio is down in Paddy. I mean, guys, how is Bangkok at the moment, guys?
It's picking up. You know, it's the year's closing in, so it's December. It's November, so we're moving on to December, and we're looking for it to pick up a little bit more. But we got a slow start, but the good thing is that there's potential. So
what do we think in general, guys? About we know that there's a slump in Thailand. We do know that. We understand that, and we know that things are not like they used to be. Do we see, guys, that Thailand is going to pick up and be like it used to be, or do we not see it getting back to what it used to be?
You know what? It's interesting you said that, because now with they just completed the elections, a few days ago, with Trump winning. And, I did a report on Bangkok One this morning in terms of the baht going to decline.
Right.
So actually, you know what? When you have a weaker baht, obviously you're going to have more people coming in. So it'll be good for the country in a lot of ways. Because I remember when Thailand was like 52 baht to $1, that, of course you had a lot of people coming in. But when the baht gets too strong, then, people are going to go elsewhere.
But don't you think that the cruncher, the one that crunches the whole thing, well, there's two things that crunch the thing. One of the things was, of course, the visa.
Yep.
To get into the country. Now we have 94 countries now that are visa free.
That's right.
You can get in, you can walk in, and that's it, away you go, and get your 90 days and extend it, blah, blah, blah. That's okay. But the biggest thing, the biggest backdraw I can see, the thing that's keeping the people away at the moment, is the airline tickets.
Yeah, the airline tickets prices going up.
Yeah, I just had a couple family members visit. I think they paid about close to $2,000 just to come over round trip.
2,000
for USD.
$2,000.
Yeah, 2,000 USD.
That's about, what is that? About £1,500.
So about that, yeah.
Is that first class? Is it or
no? It's just business class or a coach, one of those.
Wow,
two. Yeah.
Wow. So it's still pretty expensive, isn't it?
It is. But the thing with flying, from my experience, is the longer you set the date out, the cheaper the flight would be. So, unfortunately for them, they booked it like 2 months out.
Right.
But I encourage them to do like 6 months or more.
Yeah, sure.
Because at that time, you can get a really good deal.
Sure.
Yeah.
How do you guys? I mean, what do you see? I mean, how long have you been in Thailand now?
I've been in Thailand for a little over a year. So July made a year. So just a little over a year, yeah.
And Alex, you've been here
20 years.
So 20 versus 2.
I've been coming to Thailand way before that.
20 plus one in some months. Yeah.
Now we know. I mean, it's a little bit when me and Alex talk about what it used to be like prior COVID. I mean, Pattaya prior COVID was bustling. It was 1 million people a month coming to Pattaya. When it dropped to COVID, you'd be lucky to get 1,000.
Wow.
I mean,
that's a huge difference.
Well, it dropped from. I tell you what, it dropped from. It dropped from 39.4 million people arriving in Thailand down to 400,000 within 3 months.
I was going to say,
within 3 months.
That's a
within
huge
3 months, Dread.
So I'm pretty sure you guys experienced like the businesses closing and just other companies trying to reestablish themselves.
Yeah, I think.
in that type of market.
Yeah. I mean, we had businesses in Pattaya, and it just cost money.
But
simple.
Because what's interesting? I remember coming to Pattaya just after the first lockdown, and I remember Pattaya is known for like being crazy, like a lot happening. But I kid you not, when I came to Pattaya just after the first lockdown, it was like abandoned. It was so scary how quiet it was. It was really
I tried to describe it to my friends over in the UK, and I said, if you can imagine the Wild West, where you look down and it's just sand blowing, and the bush is rolling down the road.
That's what Pattaya was.
That's what Pattaya was.
Yeah, I remember
that's
that.
What it and the homeless side of it just ignited, exploded.
Really?
Yeah.
Hundreds and hundreds of people on the streets sleeping.
I remember that.
Well, I know for a fact. I mean, my wife and I had offers to come to Thailand back in 2020 when COVID hit.
Right.
And because we didn't know, like the where's about like what COVID was, how damaging it was. After seeing some videos that they sent to us where they had people in trailers and had hazmat suits on serving them food, we decided to stay put in the States. So when
Best
the opportunity
decision.
came again after COVID had kind of died down, then we took that opportunity to get here. So
I
that's
think
why we're here.
I think the way that I've said this or explained to people, this is only my opinion. We had nearly 3 years of COVID here, didn't we?
That's right.
And I think it's going to take over 3 years to recover.
Easily.
To some
Maybe more.
To some kind of normality. I don't think that Thailand will ever be back to what it was.
Right.
That's my opinion. Okay,
Right.
only my opinion. But I do think it will get great again, and I think it's a great country, and I think lots of people will visit it. But I think it will be a different kind of clientele.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
It's what? It's interesting you said that. It's not going to be the chic clientele. It's going to be more like your middle class or lower class tourist. It's not going to be like, if you look at it, let's say you look at it prior to COVID, for example, or even way before that. You go to Mandarin Oriental, or you go to all these top hotels. They were your very, 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 very chic clients.
Sure.
But now today, it's kind of like downgraded.
Middle class?
Upper middle class kind of thing, yes.
I mean, years ago, prior COVID, now we're talking, what's COVID now, 5 years ago?
4 years.
4 years ago, 4 years ago. I mean, prior to COVID, the Chinese used to come over here.
Loads of them.
And you'd get 600 in a group following a red flag.
Yeah.
And that was it. And they only went to designated places. They had deals with the people.
Yeah.
They'll get kickbacks, blah, 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 blah. That's what they were doing.
Yep.
Now you tend to find that the Chinese are coming over in ones and twos.
Yes.
Yep. The only thing is, of course, most of the Chinese are just tourists. They don't spend that much.
Right.
And that's not the sort of clientele in general that they want in Pattaya, if you know what I mean. They want the European guy. They want the Australian, the Americans, the English. They want those guys that spend the money.
Well, each one of those countries have a stronger dollar value than China, of course. So of course, you can get that if you can get that type of dollar value driving, through Thailand. The country's gonna, make more money and do well overall.
If you guys were trying to explain to somebody that didn't know Thailand at all, okay, Alex first. If you was to describe Thailand in a very short sentence, and somebody said to you, "Why do you like Thailand, Alex?"
It's home.
That would be your answer.
Yes.
Yeah, and then I would say, "Why is it your home?"
It's because of what we have here in Thailand. I don't want to go too much in terms of cost of living and all that, but it's just...
You've made it your home.
Yes. I made it my home.
And you, bro, where do you see yourself?
To me, Thailand is another opportunity. I'm always looking for opportunities. So
Sure.
One of the reasons I came here is because of the thing that Lexi said he didn't want to get into, the cost of living, even though... even though you said that they went through some tough periods, it's still, you can still go into the store and get a loaf of bread for a baht and some, some.
Oh, it's still.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
So,
amazing.
yeah.
I mean, the thing is in Thailand, as you know, Alex, and of course you're getting to know, is you can live how you want to live it. You can live at the top end of the scale, the bottom end of the scale, the middle of the scale. It doesn't matter where you live, but you can live.
Sure.
I don't think there's anywhere I can take my family, and I have a family of 4. 2 teenagers and a wife, and there's nowhere I can take my family and feed them off for $7 USD. And the food is really good, and pretty healthy. It's not like, watered down or anything. So there's not places anywhere.
Always, especially Paddy. Paddy always talk about the prostitution. They always talk about the girls. That's all they tend to talk about. What they don't talk about is the 21 golf courses that are around here, the water parks, the family facilities, the big hotels. It outweighs everything that's in Pattaya. They just see that side of it. And when you talk to somebody, oh, I live in Pattaya. Oh, yeah, it's just that sleazy sex in the city thing. Yeah. Oh, no, it's not. And then when you explain it to them and you tell them what it is, they sort of understand it. But, of course, the media these days paint a picture.
Yeah, that's what it is, yeah.
Yeah,
but the thing in Pattaya. I mean, I came here when I was 7 years old back in 1993, and I remember it was not much. I mean, we stayed at the Royal Cliff Hotel,
one of the first hotels.
One of the first, yeah. My dad used to stay here in the 70s. That was actually what's interesting. That was the last development prior to Jomtien, because on Jomtien, Pratam Nak was nothing at that time, and the Royal Cliff was the last hotel. And he knows Walking Street from back then, also during the Vietnam War. But the thing is, I remember coming here in 1993. We stayed at Royal Cliff, and also we went to a couple. I forgot which water park it was, but there was definitely water parks. But it's not like what you have today.
No, I mean, I would imagine that the one that you went to, if anything, back in that day, was Pattaya Water Park.
That's the one, yes.
With the tower where you can come down on the zip cord. Because that's been there for yonks.
Oh, like at least 40 years plus, I think.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, it is amazing. I mean, you're in Bangkok, though, aren't you?
But back to what you were saying. One of the reasons that Pattaya was probably not on our list is because of what you just said.
There we go.
It gets that stigma that it's just an adult playground.
Yeah, sure.
But I'm, as I'm coming out here more, I'm starting to see there's a lot more that the city has to offer, and it's a beautiful place. So,
okay, guys, a question for you. Okay, a newbie, shall we say a newbie, and an oldie, if that's what you want to say.
Yeah.
What's your opinion, guys, on the gambling, the casino that's going to happen in Thailand? How do you see it, and what do you see?
Wow, that's a good part. Because of course, I mean, we spoke about it the other day in terms of what's gonna bring into the country. What's interesting also, because I did something on Bangkok One the other day that I was seeing that they want to charge locals 5,000 baht to get in. Kind of thing.
They wanted the thing as we stand at the moment is that the Falang people can go in, no problem.
Yeah, that's right.
The Thai people have to get an ID card to play in the casino and have to be vetted to make sure they've got the money to play in the casino, because these are the casinos where you go in and you can't bet your house, your mother or a cow. You've got to go in there with real cash, and that's what they've got to produce to play in those. So they've got to be vetted to play in there, which I understand, because we all know that gambling is in Thailand. We know that it's happening as we speak. I mean, everybody knows it's happening. I just want to say something just before you guys talk one more. I had Brian in here the other day, and Brian was sitting opposite me, and I said, I recognise you, and he said, and I was talking about gambling. He says, yeah, I was one of the guys that got busted the other night for playing poker. Yeah, and they got fined for playing poker. But the police excuse was this: you never had permission to play. Now, he didn't say you can't play. He said you haven't got permission to play. So I think the tide's turning, bro. What do you think?
I know that the casino is going to bring a lot of opportunity here to Pattaya and Bangkok overall. Just the idea of someone having the idea that they could win, which is that's a big thing. Same thing that drove Vegas and still drives Vegas to this day.
Sure.
There's a great book by Charles Duhigg called Habits, and they talk about how the birth of the casino industry and how people are driven just by the idea that they could win, even though they know they may not. So that there's some psychological with that. So they'll always it's always going to be a cash cow for the country.
It's an addiction. It's an addiction that you can sort of control, but it's also an addiction, as you know, can get out of control.
Definitely.
And I think that's where the ties are going to fall foul.
But the thing is, like, you know, because the interesting thing is that they're going to create a lot of jobs.
Sure.
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
casinos. That's the one thing.
A lot of opportunity there. There's a lot of
100%.
opportunity, but there's, you know, you have to take the good with the bad. You know, there's a lot of opportunity, but there's a lot of, you know, downsides.
You know what
to
they
it as
say?
well.
Where
That's
there's
what it is, yeah.
You know what they say? Where there's a dime, there's crime.
Yeah,
100%.
So it's true though, isn't it, bro? You know,
Wherever
you know
there's
what
a
I'm
dime,
saying?
there's crime.
And it's going to happen anyway in Thailand. It's definitely going to happen. I mean, as we know, they've got a committee of 34. The committee have now signed it off, and then it's for the big fella to sort it out. So I mean, it's going to happen. I think what we've heard so far is 3 in Bangkok,
Yep.
2 in Pattaya, 2 in Phuket.
Yep.
That's what we've heard so far. It's going to go out to the big tender boys, as you know, MGMs and all those kind of people, because they're the only guys that are going to afford the 5 billion baht license
For sure.
and the 1 billion baht a year to keep the license.
Yep.
I mean, it's not a small fee. I mean, that's
Nope.
that's roughly about 1,000 Thais a day or people a day at 3,000 baht just to pay for the license.
So $1 billion baht. So it'll be like $30 million a year just to keep the license.
It's 3,000 times 1,000 a day for so it's whatever it is. I mean, it's you know, I mean, whatever it is, it's just a lot of money. But
Yep.
I think somewhere along the line, is it going to be, guys, the same as the marijuana? Is it going to be a snap decision, or are they going to think about it?
I think it's going to be a snap.
If they'll approve marijuana, they'll approve the casino.
Well, yeah, they did. They approved marijuana, but they didn't really think it out, did they?
No,
Yeah.
it just
You know.
they just approved it one day and then
You know.
it just got
Let
out
me
of hand.
ask you: has it? You know, have they stopped it?
No.
Exactly.
No, I mean,
So-
I used to go to the second-hand market and visit a lady. She used to sell second-hand jeans and trousers and shoes and the whole thing. Yeah, now she sells marijuana plants
with the jeans.
with the jeans.
Whoa!
Oh my God!
Yeah,
what a
it's
way
true
to
though,
double her earnings.
But I think one of the things, if you guys are in agreement, is my opinion is that they've got to make they've got to make Thailand easier accessible
Yes.
to
Most definitely.
everybody.
Yes.
To everybody.
Yeah.
Correct.
And not put the clamps on it. I mean, the thing that gets me is I've been here 16 years. I've been married for most of that, 16 years, and I still have to report every 90 days to say that I'm here,
Yeah.
right? Which I find is a right kick in the arse.
It is.
You know, but what they're trying to do now, I think we did a story on it, is they're trying to make it, if you've been here for 15 years or more, that you could apply for residency here.
Yes.
To all the people that have got kids here and that, which is nice.
Which I'm trying to do also because I'm going to apply for my permanent resident as well.
It's a big thing, but I just don't understand. I get it that they want to know where you are and what you're doing if you're a tourist and all that lot. But if you lived here for so long, and
In the
you've got
same
kids-
address.
yeah, same address. You've got kids there. You're paying tax here. You've got the whole thing. I do everything by the book, and I still have to go there every 90 days and say I'm still here. I mean, I don't go. Somebody does it for me, but you know, it's just the pain in the arse of doing the 90 days.
I think a constant show, like a record to show that you've been spending money here in Thailand and you know, contributing to their economy for 3 years. I think that's enough. I really do.
I do. I met somebody that come in on the what's the new new visa, the DV.
DTV.
I met somebody 2 days ago who's got one of them now.
Yeah.
Has to report every year.
Oh,
Hello.
amazing.
So where's the thought? Where's the thought process in it?
But you know, and also another thing they should also think about is the TM30. You know, when you arrive in, then you have 24 hours to report your address, that where your whereabouts. I mean, I've been in the same address for 15 years. What difference is that going to make?
You know what's today's society, don't you? What's happening now is what makes me laugh. Yeah, and they talk about AI and all that is. When you try and sign in somewhere, you have to prove that you're not a robot.
That's right. That's
It's
right.
right, though, isn't it?
Yeah, indeed.
Prove that
Yeah.
you're human.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's what we've been getting on the Bangkok One news. Every time I go in, it's like, prove that you're human. What is that to prove?
Just imagine going like, no.
Imagine no, yeah.
No. Food. We've had some pizza downstairs. We've had a bit of a snack. I mean, I like that kind of stuff. I mean, bro, what's your kind of favorite food? I know that you like all this. I know where you're going to go, but I mean, I'm with you.
I mean, I'm pretty open, man. You know, I could, as long as it tastes good and it's made with love, man. You know, you got me. But nothing exotic, man. I'm not an exotic fan. I
Oh,
won't,
okay.
won't
When you
try.
say exotic, what's exotic? What do you class
To
as
me,
exotic?
like balut, any like penis, hors d'oeuvres or none of that stuff, man. I can't.
You're not into that kind of thing.
No, I'm not.
Olive,
man.
oysters and that. You don't eat oysters? You eat oysters?
Oysters. The only way I'll eat oysters is if they're Rockefeller. Like they have to be grilled with like butter and cheese or breadcrumbs But I can't do the raw
So
oysters.
cremated before you eat them,
Man.
basically.
They got to be cremated.
Here we
man.
go.
They
Here
got
we
to
go.
kill it twice, as they say.
Alex, come on. You like all your food. I mean, what's the one that you go for? I mean, I know you've changed your diet since you're a fitness fanatic now.
That's right.
So I mean, what have you changed it to? I mean, what is your special thing? Your nice food that you like?
No, just the basic steak, salad, that kind of thing. I mean, I'm not into shellfish myself, and definitely not into. But
You
like
did try though. Didn't he try some fish? You tried some fish at one place. Didn't you try an oyster or something? At
No,
Tina's
no,
or
no,
somewhere?
no, no.
You tried somewhere, some fish food somewhere. I know you did because we all made you taste it. I think you spat it out.
Yeah, that was at Tina's.
Oh, was it? There we go.
Yeah.
See,
Was it a Tina's?
there we go.
What
Yeah.
was it? I can't
I
remember.
don't know.
know.
I think it was an
We
oyster.
had a nice
Oh, it was
spread
duck.
that day.
Was duck.
Oh, it was
duck.
duck. It was
Was duck. Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Loris is in the corner flapping his arms.
No, but honestly, I mean, I'm the same like him, with love and all that. But I love my pastas and all these things. But
I don't know whether to listen to him or shoot him.
yeah. No, but
So duck in the studio.
Yeah.
Duck in the studio. But honestly speaking, I mean, I eat all the good stuff during the day, but then at nighttime, I just go for the salads,
Yeah.
maybe a couple boiled eggs, a protein shake after
Yeah.
workout, that kind of thing.
Okay, all right. So listen, guys, just to sum it up, all right, in the last minute of our show today, give me where you think we're going to be in the next year.
X Media, we expect to be double the size what we have right now. But, we're going to put in a lot of hard work, Rome, like you said, Rome wasn't built in a day.
No.
Just go everything step by step, set goals, set plans, everything. I feel this time next year, we should have double the workforce we have at the moment.
Good. Okay, that's a
Yeah.
positive attitude.
Definitely, manpower wise, trying to increase the manpower. Sales team, design team will need to be increased in production as well. So with that growth, that's where where we're heading. So, and then we're also looking at the ventures in the Middle East, so to possibly open up something there as well. So
Of course, our motto is we don't like to keep customers waiting.
No.
That's one of the mottos.
Yes.
Do not keep
Yeah,
customers
no,
waiting.
yeah.
Get it done.
Customer service after service is more important than the sale.
Correct.
I mean, we all know that. I mean,
Correct.
you got to look after these people.
Of course.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
They can sign with you for years. You never know.
Good. Enjoyed yourself, guys.
Yes,
Yeah,
it was
most
very good. Thank
definitely,
you.
man.
Yeah,
Thanks
it
for
was great.
having us.
Lovely,
We
lovely,
greatly
lovely.
appreciate it,
There you
man.
go, Paddy's Island, of course, Alex's studio, and of course my man Eli. Stay with us.
BKK1.
Ain't no stopping us now. Car wash,
Get with the feeling now.
car wash, yeah.
Now go. Walk out the door. Just turn around now. 'Cause you're not welcome anymore.
BKK1.